We are about to start building a cabin in the woods, mortgage-free.
We're building mortgage-free because the banks will probably only lend us enough money to build something like this. No, this.
Come in.
And because we believe mortgages are modern-day slavery, keeping us locked in employment and paying tax to fund a system that will fail us when we need it.
Cheery.
The only problem is there are three things making our push to be mortgage-free difficult.
We don't actually have enough money saved to build the house.
I quit my job to be home with our kids, but more on that in a bit.
We spent a lot of money on possibly the worst financial decision we've ever made.
We are in Scotland, and to some of you who've known us for a few years, that won't be a surprise at all because we often come here this time of year. But if you're fairly new to the channel, you won't know that we actually bought a piece of land in Scotland a couple of years ago, a small part of a much bigger woodland. So the woodland is about 75 acres, I think, and we own 4 acres of it. We have lovely neighbours who each own a section of the woodland, and it's a really nice little community here. Buying a piece of land 8 hours away from where you live might seem like a really strange thing to do when you are saving to build a house, and in many ways it absolutely is. We have definitely asked ourselves at times whether this was the right decision for us at this point in our lives. I often say to people that Fraser is king of the long game. He bought land when he was 22, it was an empty field, he planted 3,000 trees, he waited for them to grow, he's gradually built an off-grid setup, and it has taken years and years, and now he's in his early 40s, 20 years in, he's got a beautiful woodland and is living there with his family. So absolutely king of the long game, and that's no different here. This was probably not the right timing for us at all, but we decided to play the long game. This piece of land is in the perfect location for us. It is beautiful, it is part of a great community, and it was probably going to be the last time that we had that amount of money in our account and we're able to buy it, because life happens, doesn't it? And there's always something else to spend your money on. We had the money left from our house sale, and with everything that happened during COVID, it just felt like life was too short to hang on to it and to wait for the right time to build. So we bought it, and then a few years on we find ourselves ready in a position to build, and that's just the way it goes. Another thing was, at the time when we bought this land, I was working 4 days a week as a head of school in a primary school, and we were in a really good place financially, but the truth is, in many ways we were miserable. The kids were being sent to childcare some days of the week. They didn't like that. One in particular hated it. Mornings were so rushed, evenings were late, dinners would be late because I wouldn't get home till gone 6 some nights, sometimes even 7, 8 o'clock at night. I was missing dinners, I was missing bedtimes, I was missing those key moments that are the reasons that you have children in the first place, and it just got to a point where I started to wonder why. So last summer I left my job, started to work from home. It just reached a point where it was untenable for us. And miserable. And I didn't want to spend those early years of the kids' lives being miserable and us all rushing around and missing each other. So that's the decision we made. So that decision was made after we bought the land. And also in that time we decided to home educate our children, and that meant that I would have been stepping away anyway. But that changed our financial picture, and that's something we've had to adjust to. But that's okay, because one thing we've found is that taking your time and waiting things to happen at the right time for you is all part of it. And so we're working hard to earn money and to get this build up and running, but it might be slightly slower than we would have liked. But that's okay, that's life. You can't have everything you want instantly. It's just not how it works.
Everybody wants to live debt-free and mortgage-free, and there's a few ways of doing this. I think being off-grid is a major one, because you're not beholden to utility companies and having to pay all their rates. But also, you know, house prices are so expensive. Van life is such a big thing. You can travel around, you can live basically anywhere. Filtration systems and power packs have got so good now, you can do it anywhere. I think it's a great way of being debt-free. You haven't actually even got to buy the land, although that would be really nice, wouldn't it? But then you could save to buy the land, because you are able to do that when you have a bit of control.
Building a house mortgage-free is not easy, which is why we are very grateful that Bluetti are sponsoring this video.
So thank you to Bluetti for sending us this premium 200 V2 power pack.
We have different power packs at home, but we decided to just bring the Bluetti in order to test it out fully, and it's done brilliantly.
It's very compact. I can't believe how far this technology is going now. why anyone would want to do a whole solar install when they can buy something with such good warranty that's got that amount of power in it. I wouldn't bother now. These power packs are getting better and better, and this Bluetti one has been great for us.
So when we're in Scotland here on the land and we're staying in the motorhome, our power needs are pretty simple. Mostly it's charging things like phones, laptop, cameras, the mics we use, stuff like that for filming. We also use the cool box to give us a bit more storage for our food, and that's about it. So the Bluetti can do that, no problems whatsoever. And with the solar panels that they sent us as well, it's absolutely fantastic. So that's been a great setup. But what's been great is to see it being able to support what Fraser's been doing as well.
It's been powering all our tools to get rid of a massive problem that we've got, which is rhododendron. That's a lot of work. Once you get in there and start cutting back, you realise what a maze it was, and there's just huge chunks of it. And last year I actually got lost in it. I was cutting it down and it's such a maze. It's only 4 acres, but because everyone else has got sort of open woodland as well, and it starts getting dark, I actually went round the same bit 3 times before I thought, hang on a minute, I really need to rehydrate and have a think about where I am. It's making us walk miles, so I've had to cut a line right through the land, line of sight, so that we can actually get down to the water to filter it, to bring it back up for drinking water. We have been using such a lot of high-powered equipment to cut this down at some speed. It's been a good test for it.
We've been joined on our trip by my sister Emma and brother-in-law Taylor, and it was great for Fraser to have some help with cutting down and poisoning off the rhododendron.
Bad example. Done that all day and haven't spilt it anywhere. And then I'll just go squirt it in the air. Yeah. The only time you hear the Bluetti is when you hear what it is running with it. That's what I've found. You can't actually hear it. It's been under the bed in like a little cubby bit that's in the motorhome. And one night I actually left on a cool box that was running outside because it was quite a warm day. I thought, oh, I didn't turn that cool box off, I can hear it running. So instead of having to get out of bed in my underpants and walk across hard gravel, I could go on the app and go to because it's got Bluetooth connectivity, and just turn off the DC output on it, and pop, then it turned it off. And so it's got these features that just make life much easier and comfortable. And obviously if we were at home we could run on the Wi-Fi, so you could put it somewhere else further away from you and still control it. Look at all the data on there about how it's doing, what the charge is. Easy app to use. So you can charge the Bluetti device with solar and a generator at the same time, which is really good when you're running lots and lots of power stuff and it's draining and obviously the sun isn't shining and that sort of thing. It's 1.4 hours and the battery pack is charged. It charges that quick, so it's really good. And then you're back to being quiet again and using battery source. Obviously they make a little bit of noise, but nowhere near the same amount of noise that petrol does. It puts out over 2,800 watts. It's got 6,000 plus is on the life cycle of it. It charges in 1.4 hours, and it's got a 5-year warranty, which is pretty amazing really, because when you look at a lot of lithium stuff, some real top brand lithium stuff, they don't give you that. And what you've got is a power pack that isn't just a battery, it's actually a power pack with pure sine wave energy for a low price. that these things have come down a lot in price. It's made it really affordable to do this and just go anywhere.
Oh no.
Oh well, that'll do for tonight.
Yeah.
Go back up there.
Oh dear.
So I'd just like to thank Bluetti for sending us this. It's going to be very helpful. It's been very helpful on this trip, and it'll be very helpful in the future as well.
When we're at home, it is easy to associate the land in Scotland with things that we don't have, not having all the money we need in order to build the house, and all the other things that we might have been able to buy if we'd still had that money sitting in our account. But when we come here, it's an amazing reminder of what we do have. Not just that we have this beautiful land and how lucky we are to have it in such an amazing location in Scotland. Sometimes when you're in a mobile home, it's easy to feel hard done by, especially as ours is aging and gradually collapsing under the pressure of housing a family of 4 for the amount of time that it has. It's coming to the end of its life, and we know that, and sometimes it can feel a bit dilapidated. We're lucky that it's beautifully warm, we're lucky that it's dry, but it's not fancy, and it doesn't always look great, and it's hard to keep it tidy because there's so many of us. But coming here and having such a lovely time, despite the fact that we have less than we have at home, is a great reminder that actually the best way to go about things is to keep it simple. Maybe we could streamline our life at home a little bit more to make the most of the space that we've got, rather than always wishing we had more room. At the end of the day, this land is a future investment for our children, and everything that we do comes back to them. So we hope in years to come that they will be able to come here with their friends, and maybe even in future come here with their own children. The pond is looking dry and sad and a bit empty. It's still got water in it, which is all I'm really worried about, but Fraser's refusing to go and even look at it at the moment because it looks so awful. He'd rather hold on to how it looked in May and June, I think. Like anybody, when we get back from holiday, we've got tons of jobs to catch up on. The polytunnel has got a load of stuff that we need to harvest. Tomatoes particularly boomed while we were away, and Fraser's got jobs that he wants to get on with, the first one being the compost toilet that he started before we went.
We built the main toilet bit, then I've gone and built a box for the sawdust that you put in it. Done it in the same style, and what I'm going to do is bolt that to there after I've painted it all up. And it's just going to be wing nuts, because obviously I don't know if anyone's ever lived in a mobile home, but the doors are about that narrow. So I could get this through, but I won't get that through at the same time. Also, it's heavy, so to be able to bolt it together once it's in there and take it out separately, just with wing nuts, so it's an easy thing, off and on sort of job. I need to take all this off again, and it needs rubbing down a bit more. This is rubbed down and then painted and sealed. Bathroom sealant round, re-bolt this down, which is all wing nuts, it's all, so it can all come off easily to be cleaned and repainted in the future. And as well, because this seems to scratch exceptionally easy with any sort of dust that might just rub it slightly, it might need replacing. But I'm quite pleased with it. It all seems to work really nicely.
Very nice. I like these bits.
I haven't sunken these hinges in on the top because, again, on stuff like this you don't want to be sinking stuff into wood. I think keep it on the surface would probably be a better idea, and then varnish over it, and hope the varnish is of a good enough quality to keep any moisture out. A lot of doing this has been in the prep. Painting, filling, rubbing down, and then you rub it down and then a bit might come out, so you end up with a little gap like that. There's a little gap there, and then you end up having to fill it. Been a real problem trying to get this painted with all those little tiny black bugs. People seem to have different names for these little bugs. We seem to call them thrips. I don't know if that's right. Thunderflies. What do you call them? I don't know what other people call them in regional areas. I've heard them called around here midgets. Not midgies, midgets. I'm just so pleased I haven't got to try and sand out a midget. Re-drill the holes. Yes, they're full of paint. Right. I haven't got a battery here for my drill, so now I'm having to remake the holes where I've got paint that's gone in there with the drill bit by hand. I'll never have my head so close to this ever again. Oh my god. Thrips stuck in my bloody sealant now. I thought today was a cool day. Might not be any about. No. Oh, what's that now? I've got a seed stuck in that bit. Oh. Oh, bloody hell. Well, now that I've picked all the bugs out of my mastic and smoothed it down again, you get a job that should take like 2 minutes and it takes 20. Impossible to do. Go on, keep walking at it. Okay. Do we have to have all this noise out here? Because I'm trying to film something and you're just out here all screaming. Obviously this will have a back wall to go against and it goes like that. I've managed to get mastic and thrips over everything. Come and take a look. I think this is quite posh for what it is going to contain. In here I've got buckets of poo and piss. Not yet. In here I will have sawdust for my poos. How well that fits in there, that urine one. I'm actually really pleased with that. That's going to be quite good. I have to try it out. I have to explain how that works to the children. This on top of the poo-poo, like that. Okay? You haven't got to do it now. But that's what you got to do, okay? Yeah. Oh dear, yeah. This is the problem with any toilet though, isn't it? They fall down if you're little. Poo-poo's in there, wee-wee's in there. Do you want to try sitting? Not in that. No, never poo in that bit. Not in that bit. That's the sawdust bit, darling. That's been a disaster.
Okay.
Where do the poo-poos go? Where do
Okay.
No, they do not go there. No, there. God help us if he tries to do a poo-poo in there.